keeping up with AI. It feels like drinking from a fire hose sometimes, doesn't it?
It really does. The pace is just incredible.
Exactly. So, welcome to the deep dive. We're here to give you that quick, essential briefing on the biggest AI news happening right now
Yep, we sift through the articles, the research, the industry buzz.
and pull out what you really need to know, saving you time.
So let's get right into it. A big theme emerging is AI agency.
Right, this idea that AI isn't just processing information, but actually acting. John Segato over at Replit wrote about this, how directing AI might be the key skill.
And it's not just theory. Look at the job market in India, for example. They're seeing a real shortage of agentic AI
A
professionals.
shortage, how big?
Well, demand is projected to basically double by 2026, but estimates say there are fewer than, 100,000 people with those skills right now.
Wow, that really shows this agency thing is hitting the real world.
Absolutely. It's a tangible skills gap.
And speaking of agents in the real world, what about building and paying for them? Windsurf just made a move, right?
They did cut the price on their coding agents pretty significantly, down to $15 a month.
$15. And what about extra charges?
That's the kicker. No extra charges for tool calls, which definitely puts pressure on competitors.
Like Cursor.
Exactly, like Cursor. It could really change the economics of using these things. Makes you wonder about the sustainability, though.
True. Meanwhile, Google's also making it easier to build agents, especially with local models.
Yeah, they've improved support for local LLMs in their agent development kit, the ADK. So you can use it with tools like Llama now.
Llama lets you run models on your own machine, right? Like a private AI lab.
Pretty much. And people are already building multi-agent systems this way using the ADK. It gives developers a lot more flexibility.
And control, presumably. Privacy, too.
Definitely. And to help these local agents talk to the outside world, there's something called the Model Context Protocol, or MCP.
Okay, MCP, what's that do?
It's like a bridge.
Yeah.
It lets your local Llama agents, say, connect and use external tools. There was a tutorial showing how to set up the server, the client.
And even a UI to manage it.
Yeah, built with Streamlit. It's all about making these local agents more functional, letting them interact seamlessly, standardizing that connection.
It seems like this agent idea is popping up everywhere, even data engineering.
Right. Vikram Chennarai was on the MLOB's podcast talking about agentic approaches there, the idea that AI could, manage data pipelines autonomously.
AI managing data pipelines.
Yeah.
Wild. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Model performance, what's the latest?
Well, the ARC Prize Foundation looked at OpenAI's O3 model.
Yeah.
Their analysis suggests it actually performed a bit weaker on some reasoning tests compared to the preview version.
Huh. So not always a straight line upwards in development.
Not always. It's iterative, right? Constant testing and tweaking.
Makes sense. And the competition isn't standing still. Baidu's made a move.
They have rolled out new ERNIE language models, and they're positioning them directly against DeepSeek and OpenAI with what they call ultra-low pricing.
Ultra-low pricing. Another shot fired in the price wars.
Definitely. We'll have to see how that plays out, how accessible it makes these models.
OpenAI also pushed an update for GPT-4o in ChatGPT itself.
Yeah, they did. Promising a more intuitive experience, they said.
But no detailed changelog.
Not really, no. So, more user-friendly, but the specifics are a bit vague.
Got it. Okay, hardware is always crucial. Any news there?
Big news, potentially. Huawei is reportedly working on a new AI chip, the Ascend 910D.
Under the target.
NVIDIA's H100, they're aiming high. Reports say they're already testing it with some clients.
Wow. More competition in high-end chips would be significant.
Absolutely. For innovation, for the supply chain, it's needed.
And speaking of OpenAI models, they officially released O3 and O4 Mini.
Yes, they did. And interestingly, these models did really well in some tough math competitions like AIM and USAMO.
So strong reasoning capabilities showing up there.
Seems so. Which ties into efficiency research, too. There's this DEAR approach from China.
DEAR. What's that stand for?
Dynamic Early Exit for Reasoning. The idea is the model can stop processing once it's confident enough in the answer. Saves compute power.
Ah, smarter processing. Makes sense for these huge models.
Exactly. And ByteDance is also focused on improvement, but on the data side.
TikTok's parent company, what are they doing?
They introduced something called QuadMix. It's a framework to boost the quality and, importantly, the diversity of data used for training LLMs.
Better data in, better models out.
That's the core idea. Better training data is fundamental.
Okay, let's talk applications. Adobe made a big announcement with Firefly.
Huge. They've basically turned Firefly into this all-in-one AI engine, images, video, audio.
All in one place.
Yeah, and they're even supporting partner AI models now, plus enterprise APIs. It signals a real shift in creative tools. AI is becoming central.
We're seeing practical adoption elsewhere too, like in filmmaking.
Right, Leonine Studios, they made Dark. They're using AI tools for things like scripts and admin work.
But keeping humans in charge.
They emphasize that. Storytellers still control the creative side. It's about efficiency gains.
Interesting balance. And in robotics, learning from video.
Yeah, Cornell developed an AI called RIME. It lets robots learn a new skill just by watching one video demo.
One video. That could massively simplify robot training.
Potentially, yes. Huge implications if it scales.
There was also that interesting test using a video game.
Oh yeah, the Ace Attorney study.
Right.
Researchers used it to test different AI models' reasoning.
How'd they do?
Well, it highlighted differences in performance and cost between the models. Using a game gives a structured way to compare them in complex scenarios.
Clever. And for businesses actually deploying this stuff, AWS launched something.
The well-architected generative AI lens. It's basically a set of best practices from AWS on how to build and run GenAI workloads responsibly and efficiently.
So guidelines for doing it right, probably needed given the adoption rate.
Which is exploding, apparently. Google Cloud just reported 601 real-world GenAI use cases they're involved in.
6 out of 1. Wasn't it much lower recently?
Just over 100 a year ago, they said. So yeah, really rapid growth across industries.
Wow. Even everyday gadgets are getting AI features, like that voice recorder.
The Mobvoi Tick Note. Pocket-sized recorder, but the AI can create summaries, research notes, even mind maps from the audio.
Handy for meetings or lectures.
Could be, yeah. Streamlining note-taking.
Looking further out, AI developing a whole AAA game.
David Shapiro's prediction. He thinks it's possible by 2030 AI autonomously shipping a major game.
Way ambitious, but shows the potential scale of automation.
It does. And related to automation, there's Agent Tab E for web testing.
Using AI for A/B tests.
How? It uses LLM agents to simulate how users might behave on a live website. Helps test different versions more efficiently.
Simulating users. Interesting approach. And AI search is showing up directly on phones.
Perplexity AI is being integrated into the Motorola Razr. Embeds that capability right into the device.
Makes the phone itself smarter. And speaking of accessibility, someone built a website with AI.
Yeah, a U.S. news aggregator site. Built using Gemini AI, reportedly with no manual coding needed.
Really shows how these tools are lowering the barrier to creating things.
Definitely democratizing development in some ways. But then you have the flip side. People trying to humanize AI text.
Trying to get past AI detectors.
Exactly. There are services like SafeWrite AI popping up, claiming to use personalized models to make AI writing seem human. It's a constant cat and mouse game.
Always something. Okay, what about the underlying infrastructure? Any worries there?
Growing concerns about an AI chip shortage are definitely bubbling up again.
Why now?
A mix of things. Raw material issues, complex manufacturing, geopolitical tensions. It all plays a part.
And the demand just keeps climbing.
Exponentially. Which is why TSMC, the big chip maker, announced plans for giant AI chips, trying to meet that compute demand head on.
Go big or go home, huh? There was also a comment from Reid Hoffman about the U.S. position.
Yeah, he voiced concern that U.S. policies like tariffs and spending cuts could actually hurt America's lead in AI.
And potentially benefit.
China was his implication. It highlights that interplay between tech, policy, and global competition.
Right. And money is still pouring into AI startups.
Seems so. We saw two notable $50 million Series B rounds recently. One for Healthy and AI health insurance assistant.
Okay. And the other?
Centra. They do cloud data security, and now they're adding AI prompt controls. So investment continues across different applications.
Healthcare, security. Seems like it's touching everything. Finally, any legal news feels inevitable.
It usually is. Ziff Davis, the media company, is suing OpenAI.
Over.
Copyright violations, alleging ChatGPT was trained on their articles without permission. It's another example of those tensions between AI developers and media outlets ramping up.
Yeah, that seems like a fight that's only just beginning.
Probably.
Okay, that's a whirlwind tour of today's AI landscape. Quite a lot happening.
It really is. We covered that whole agent ecosystem evolving, the safety questions, the model wars.
Right, plus all those applications popping up everywhere, and the infrastructure and investment underpinning it all.
It just moves so fast.
It does. And as AI gets woven more tightly into, well, everything, our jobs, the economy, it really makes you wonder, what are the big shifts we should be anticipating, maybe even bracing for in how we work and live?
That's the big question, isn't it? Something to definitely keep thinking about. Stay curious, keep exploring these developments.
Absolutely. Join us next time for another deep dive.